So today we're going to be talking about something which is really just for fun, which is floating or lightly hopping up to the top of the mat instead of walking up to the top of the mat. So what I mean is, when you're in downward dog, you can simply step your feet up to the top when you're making your way back into your standing forward bend, and that works and that's great. But what we could practice doing is lightly hopping our way up into our standing forward bend. So maybe something like that to start out with. Why would we ever want to do this? Learning to float up is just a different way to challenge your core and to challenge your shoulders. If you practice this and you start to feel pain in your wrists, then I would back away from that and practice maybe just high plank positions, or even they have like hand strengthening tools for climbers and things like that. So you could try those things and then come back to practicing your floating. Something that also might happen is there might be a fear of falling or toppling over. So you could do this with a wall in front of you. Part of this will be learning to not jump or hop with so much force, and you probably will a few times, and that's okay. I would recommend trying to remember to keep your arms straight, to keep looking forward, and to send your hips high and up. So not thinking about it just like I'm gonna jump forward. Think about it as I'm gonna send my hips upward with a little bit of a jump. If you're gonna practice floating, when you're here, then you're gonna have your palms grounded on the floor like you would in downward dog or in plank. So if you need to have your legs bent here in your standing forward bend, as you come down from your floating, then you're probably gonna need to bend your knees here as well. So I'm gonna inhale and look forward in between my hands, and I'm gonna continue looking forward as I hop up. So I'm gonna bend my knees a little bit to create a little bit of a spring in my legs, and I'm gonna hop up on an exhale. And that's not a rule. Some people hop up with an inhale, which works as well. You can try both. So I'm gonna hop up with an exhale, keeping my arms straight and sending my hips up. What might happen as you start practicing this is you might give too much weight to your legs and kind of clunk up like that. And if that's happening a lot, you're not giving enough weight into your arms, and you might not be jumping high enough either. A few of your jumps will probably be like that, looking forward, keeping your legs bent, and just getting used to that feeling of hopping up. One of the times you do this, eventually you'll find your shoulders catching your hips. And that feeling of being caught is having your hips aligned over your shoulders and pressing the mat away with the shoulders. So your shoulders and the core will be working together there. And that's the point of balance. And you might hold that, pressing, and then come down. You might find that when you feel that catch, you kind of freak out and then you fall forward, and that's okay. Just let your nervous system become used to being upside down and hopping up, and you will start to notice your pattern. Again, if you're clunking down with your feet, then you need to send your hips up a little bit higher and make sure that your arms are straight. And if you tend to overpower your jump, then you need to not jump with as much force, really pull your core in and press the mat away with your arms also. When you begin to find yourself catching your hips more of the time, then you can start to hop up with straight legs. So starting out maybe something like that. So I didn't stay hovering for very long, but I kept my legs more straight and I placed them in between my hands, and once they came to the mat, I could bring my palms off of the floor. Eventually I find the catch, slowly piking down. You need to keep pressing the mat away as you come down, and that downward force of pressing into your arms will help to counteract the weight of your legs and slow the way that they come down. So don't get discouraged if you keep undershooting or you keep overshooting. You will get it if you start to counter your habits with what we talked about, using the core and just not overpowering your jump too much. And this is something that you'll probably have to do many times and come back to over and over again until your shoulders and your core start to understand how to work with one another when you're moving and balancing one another upside down.